wonder sometimes what's going through their heads. Because some have spent long time, minutes, 5-10 minutes easily watching us. Look at the big bull on the road there as well. Big guy, look at the shoulders and neck. Powerful. Oh, that's our crazy guy. Looks like it. See the missing tail, or the little tail stump there? Let's go a little bit closer. Let's see if it's him.
Good idea, copy.
Can you fine, Jan?
Yeah, just a question from Helen. She wants to know, have Cape Buffalo ever been domesticated for farm usage?
Good question, Helen. I'll get a little bit closer, see if we can find this crazy bull. I don't think he'll ever get domesticated, but Helen asking if Cape Buffalo have ever been domesticated. And yes, actually they have. Although domesticated may be not the right term. Here's our crazy guy. He's got an oxpecker in his nose at the moment. Brave oxpecker. Is he cleaning? He's still got that bit of a strange look in his eye. And of course that little stumpy tail, easy to recognize him. But Helen, in terms of domesticated, maybe if we get technical, not just because as a species they're still wild, but certainly quite a lot of individuals have been tamed. Like I mentioned earlier, these disease-free buffalo are quite expensive, or worth a lot for game reserves that can't have buffalo like these that carry bovine TB, as well as potentially foot and mouth. But yeah, if they raise them from young, they can handle them very similar to cattle. But they've never been domesticated as a species. In other words, historically been used for work or so on. It's only been something that's recently, in the last couple of decades really, that people have been farming buffalo for their commercial value. Interestingly enough, the commercial value is still for wild animals. In other words, they do release them back into game reserves again. It's just that they want them to be disease free. Look at that beautiful cow, nice wide horns for a female, and of course that little brown calf. Might even be her calf. See in the background there, that little one. It's obviously learned how to scratch now, using that tree there as a rubbing post. Slowly, a little bit more movement in the group, but still probably 70% of this herd just lying around. Then again, there's no big rush for them. There's water close by, they've had a good drink. There's lots of food. There hasn't been a buffalo herd in this area for months. So the grazing is still ample as well, so still easy times for them. Of course, here towards the end of winter, when the grass is getting low and short, waterholes are getting further and further between waterholes with water in them, and the work becomes a little bit harder for these buffalo. Also, the food is very dry by the end of winter, so they need to drink more, cover more ground. So, but for the moment, life is pretty easy if you're a buffalo. See that very systematic chewing. Big molar teeth like most other ruminants. And buffalo especially, they bulk grazers, so they eat large quantities of grass, not necessarily being too picky about the quality of it. If you take something else like a impala, for instance, they're relatively selective. They mixed feeders, leaves and grass, but they eat only the better parts. Buffalo just bulk grazers. They eat leaves as well, but majority of their food is grass, and they'll eat sort of whatever comes along. So they do need to spend a lot of time grinding it down. Very healthy looking young male. Interesting horn shapes as well. We spoke about it yesterday. After a few years the horns start to curl lower down. This one is just starting to develop the big curls on the horns now. But he's got relatively narrow horns. They're not very widespread, but they're very, very thick already for his age. He'll be an impressive bull when he's older. He's only probably about 4 years, 3.5 years old now. I'll sit with them a few minutes more. Like yesterday, I'm quite enjoying this. Look at this old girl. Oh, easy to recognize her in future. What's interesting is that she's still in pretty good condition, body-wise, bulk-wise. She's looking quite healthy. The face is looking haggard. Lots of old marks and scars. The horns, as you can see, are blunt. Difficult to see her teeth there. Oh, thanks Alex. She's still got a few left. But certainly not the youngest cow in the herd. But she's in good shape, and she also looks like she's pregnant, just looking at her belly. She's got quite a big stomach, so maybe she's got a little youngster on the way as well. So quite often you find that buffalo, again, very hardy, very rugged animals, and they breed until quite late compared to domestic cattle, for instance.